Hi guys, hi everyone. So I'm Sachin, this is Spiky. We also call him Vikram. Okay. We are from Leo Burnett. Leo Burnett is multinational ad agency. We have offices worldwide, almost like more than 40 plus offices. In India, we have 3 offices and more than 700 people actually work in our agency. So we are the national creative directors. We take care of all ideas, whatever work which happen for clients and all creative work. So,
Generally responsible for the cool stuff that gets out. All the bad stuff that happens is somebody else in the office, of course.
yeah. So, like any other advertising person, we also saw some jingles when we were entering college. We saw some jingles. We saw some print ads. We joined advertising. Okay, we will be doing this. But when we got into advertising, the scene was different. Okay, so print was changed to film, TVCs. Then okay, well, let's keep moving on. Then film, TVC became digital. Then digital became activation. Then activation now became like something called, we are fighting with AI, like ChatGPT and DALI, all these AIs. Okay, so only thing what we did in last 20 years, we just accept that change, which was happening in advertising, and the communication design, which was changing every time.
So that's the logo, we live on it. And so, to pretty much what Sachin was talking about, right? We've been adapting to the changing environment all this while. And what we're here to talk to you guys about is actually how design plays such an important role in communication, in creative, right? And we'll just quickly talk a little about the company and how we go about our work, and then we'll take you through some of the pieces that we've been doing for last few years. Humankind is the agency philosophy. This is how we approach our work. The way we approach our work, and that's what is written here, right? Purpose-driven brands. We feel that for a brand to be able to make headway with consumers today, it needs to find its purpose. It's not important for them to talk about what they do or how they make it, but what's important for them to communicate today is why they do what they do. Why do they get up from the bed? Why do they go to the office? Why are they making such cool products? Why are they really investing insane amount of money in tech and bringing in new solutions? Because they want to make human life better, right? And that's the philosophy, that's humankind philosophy. We believe that's how brands could be made. Instead of communicating what they do or why they or how they do it, we must communicate why they do what they do, right? And on basis of that, we've done all our work. And there are 3 examples that we'll take you all through today. But we feel at the core of all of that is just this one single message. When the work that a brand does is good for people, it's only then that it will be good for business. If we're there, we're going to create interruptions, a 30-second ad which is going to come in between your movie or your favorite series, you would never want to watch it, right? But if the 30-second ad is going to come and tell you something that you were really looking for, if it's going to come and touch you, if it's going to talk to you about something that you genuinely care about, or you feel that there's a brand out there that cares about the same thing as you care about, right? Then it all of a sudden starts to make sense. And that's what purpose-driven advertising is. What we're going to do is we're going to take you all through 3 examples of this. The first one is Bajaj. Bajaj is automobile company, and the giants, right? And they were one of the clients who were happy to take progressive new age thinking from us. So the piece of work that we'll share with you is something that we did a few years back. Sachin, you want to talk more about it?
Imagine working on a brief where commuter bikes, when almost 12 commuter bikes, when they get launched, they failed, right? So imagine working on a brief, we were launching one more commuter bike. Okay, the brief was given to us from Bajaj. And what we discussed, okay, how can we make this particular launch different? How can the design of this entire campaign can be different? And that time we found this. Okay, entire country was talking about this news. INS Vikrant was getting scrapped. And no one, including our government, was not doing anything. We said, can we do something about it? Can we create a product where this can be given back to people? And we created this. So we, obviously, whole country was talking about this particular piece, but we did not stop just by just launching this bike. We took it forward. Even in design, So we found people who are actually doing good things for the society. Dada Saheb Bilore, Karmul Haq, even Agun Paki, who is in Calcutta. Okay, these people on their own, they were helping society. We said, can we give them Vikrant? Can we give them Bajaj V? And can we design Bajaj V for their whatever they're doing? So we created, this is 2014, so we created first bike ambulance. We created for Dada Saheb Bilore, we created a bike which can carry cement and actually fill the pothole. Then we created a bike for Agun Paki, okay, which can become like a firefighter engine, which can go to small lanes. And all this happened in 2014, and now all these ideas are getting adapted into society.
And these are all true stories, right? All three of these individuals were out there wanting to help the society, wanting to bring about a change. What we did is with Bajaj we tapped into them. We designed a new vehicle altogether for them, right? Customized for them for it to become an ambulance, for customize it for it to become a fire engine, which would go into the smallest lane in those remote areas, right? And that's how that's where we feel design came into play, and it really changed the game for Bajaj V on this particular platform. And we feel the larger point that got made with this campaign was that we used design to help India own a piece of national treasure, right? It's a big thing to be able to ride a bike that's made out of metal, which was used in a warship Vikrant, right? But while you ride that every day, pride being used to sell a bike was a new conversation. It had never happened. Everyone spoke about mileage, everyone spoke about shock absorbers, but nobody ever spoke about pride as the new way of promoting a commuter segment bike.
In fact, one of the stories which client told us, they had one consumer who bought the bike and said, I bought it for my son. So, who is just 7-year-old. Okay, but he's just a 7-year-old, but don't worry, wo jab bada hoga tab chalayega. That time I don't know if this bike will be available, but my son should have this piece of history with him. So that's the emotional connect we had by just designing one bike. Next story.
The next one is HPCL. So Hindustan Petroleum is a giant, right? They are there in every other part of the country, and they really make life so much better, especially for people who are truck drivers, who are on the road. Their trucks are well taken care of, all of that, and they do a lot of work to help the truck drivers and stuff, right? But when we got into it, we realized that yes, while you do a lot for them, what has happened, a country or our infrastructure is such that it's just exploded in a way which was not well organized, because of which there are huge number of highways where there are these dead turns, the really steep pin turns, right? And because they're made in such a way that if you are not to be able to control your vehicle properly, you would end up meeting an accident, especially where there would be a dead pin where you would not be able to see what the other vehicle that's coming from the other end. And there are many of these, especially when you go up north in the mountains, right? So we came across this data point, which is where this idea was born from. The data point was very simple. There are black holes, they call them black holes in the mountains, where on an average, every month, there would be 10 to 15 accidents every month, and some of them were deadly, right? The trucks would fall down steep slopes. We said, what if HP could make those roads safer? What if we could use design and technology to make it safer, make it really nice? And we came across this instance which was really nice. Honking on the road is considered to be really bad, right? You're in the city, you're out there, and if you hear somebody honking, it seems like, oh, that's not really nice. But can honking itself be turned on its head and help you save lives? That's where this idea was born from. Let me play the video and we can talk a little more. Using radar technology, using design, using human understanding of, a honk always makes you slow down, right? All of that came together for this piece, and the results have been fantastic. HPCL with the Indian government could put these poles in various parts of the country, up north, of course, but even down south, there were quite a few mountains, quite a few these steep floors that we could manage. To an extent, the success of it was so good that government from other countries approached us to ask for these poles. We haven't managed to supply there because there are enough and more to be done in India itself. But once that's done, I'm sure we'll be able to affect lives around as well. But again, the larger point over here was design is so wonderful, is so fantastic, right? So we use design to create India's first anti-collision system, right? Making Indian roads safer in places where it could be really, really dangerous, saving human life, which is invaluable, right? And all with the help of just design thinking, human understanding.
So we are talking to 4 countries actually, and obviously discussions happening. We are also working on this particular element where AI is now started, generating its own ideas and is evolving every day. It started, checking whether it's cow, whether it's human, whether it's car, everything is like getting evolved every day while that poll is there. The next story which I want to share is Whisper. Okay, so for Whisper, we are working with Whisper for last 5 years. We are working on a project called KGIS, Keep Girls in School. Okay, because of there is no information, there is no education about periods. There are almost like millions of girls are dropping from school. They are dropping out from the school, and Whisper PNG, they are trying to retain these girls in a school. Last 3 years, 4 years, we created films, TV series, which you generally see on TV. We created videos. This year we thought, can we do something different? Can we actually go to the real cause of the problem? Can we go to the education system and see if there is a chapter in it? So unfortunately, we did not find, like most of the syllabus, they don't have particular chapter. And even if it's there, teachers generally, they don't teach about it. They ignore. They just go to the next chapter. So we thought, okay, can we use, because this is like a topic which is very taboo, right? People don't talk about it. Can we use culture? Can we design something, okay, which can take into people, and can we give this particular message to people? We designed this one chapter, okay, the missing chapter. We use this particular red page with all the information, and we take this one element. We took it to all our campaign elements like film, print, everything, right? And what we did is we went to instead of going for tech, we went to traditional medium, which is wall art. Okay, oldest medium in India, right? Because we thought that was the right medium for people when we're talking to. They should see this. This chapter should be put on a wall so people can see it. And this is what we created.
Was such a taboo breaking conversation, and then using art to make it feel like it's their own. Each piece of art was was designed so that the region could feel like, oh, this is a drawing that's been made over here by a local artist. That's how it got accepted in culture, and that's the point that.
Yeah. So we created almost 27 pieces, each one for each state. Okay, and obviously it's derived from the culture, the art, what we see. It's everything coming from the people, and we were just adding this one element of red chapter, missing chapter, and giving it back to the society. So obviously these are just 3 pieces, but we are constantly working on multiple, pieces which are happening right now. And humankind is the brief, what we follow. Every brief we try to see if there is a humankind, maybe angle to it, right? So, Spike, you want to talk about it? 175.
So these are the few more pieces that we are doing, right? There's something else that we have done with Airtel using holographic technology, using face mapping called 175. We got Kapil back and we did something really interesting. We made the Indian team jersey for Byju's, a jersey which had all Indian cheers been printed onto it, right? You could scan the jersey and you could hear India cheering. This was during the time of pandemic where people could not go to the stadium. This is how their cheers actually got into the stadium. We're doing Street Eye, which is a really cool radar technology being mounted on bikes to avoid potholes during rains. During rains, when you can't see potholes, this radar technology is going to tell you that, hey, there's a pothole here, you could avoid it. Right? So that's where most of our work is. We feel technology, data, and design coming together can give you human solutions, right? The point that we were making earlier, which is if it is going to be good for people, it's going to be good for business, right? That's how we approach our work.
Like Spikey was mentioning, Srita is device which actually can penetrate through muddy water. So if biker can't see the pothole, right, because of muddy water, and there are a lot of accidents happen because of that. But this particular device can, penetrate that thing, and it can give information to biker. There's a pothole ahead, right? This one, Jersey, what you see is here, all these are like sound waves, which are like created from all the chant what you hear in stadiums, Sachin, Sachin, India, India. All those chants are here in those sound waves. We also created 175. This is unfortunately, okay, at the same time, 83 movie got launched. But we had this idea, we worked on this idea almost for 8 months, where we wanted to create, Kapil's missed that 175. No one knows that what happened in that. Everyone knows that there was like a massive inning played by Kapil, but no one had data. So if we can go on YouTube, we can see it. Actually, we created that inning again. We we spoke to Kapil Paji, we scanned his face.
Scanned his face, we de-aged him, and if you go and see it, you can see Kapil play that inning, right? And it is quite an achievement on tech and filmmaking, actually.
So we try to do every time, we try to put something in work where humankind angle will be there, and obviously design something for the society. Brand and वो तो होता ही रहेगा, वो तो होता ही है. Thank you guys. Thank you.